there's a dark cloud over the Indianapolis Colts star quarterback Peyton Manning. He's still recovering from neck surgery and apparently is not ready to play.
How serious is this injury?
Everybody's just petrified because we don't know, and that's the problem.
Okay, so picture this. It's 2011, and the Indianapolis Colts, a team that had been a model of consistency and dominance for over a decade, are in complete freefall. Their leader, the man who had been the face of the franchise since 1998, is nowhere to be found on the field. Peyton Manning is out, and not just for a game or two. He's gone for the entire season. But this isn't just about one bad year. Manning's absence is catastrophic. The Colts, who were perennial playoff contenders, crumbled to an abysmal 2-14 record. Without him, they're unrecognizable. And in the NFL, records like that don't go unnoticed. It lands them the #1 overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, a golden ticket to select, well,
Andrew Luck.
And anybody who would turn down millions of dollars to come back and get a Stanford education, which is priceless, he's my main man.
Andrew Luck, the most hyped quarterback prospect since, well, Manning himself.
And there is a Suck for Luck campaign that appears to be going on there, talking about Andrew Luck, the Stanford quarterback.
And just like that, the Colts are faced with a decision that will change the course of NFL history. Stick with their aging, injured legend, or turn the page to a new era with Luck. How did we get here, though? Well, we have to go back to 2006. So I've got a question. If you were seriously injured, do you know what your case could be worth? It could be millions. But dealing with traditional law firms? Yeah, that's a whole different kind of headache. Paperwork, endless phone calls, waiting weeks just for an update? It's frustrating and time-consuming. And worse, many firms settle for lowball offers instead of fighting for what you truly deserve. That's where Morgan & Morgan come in. They're America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys nationwide. And unlike other firms, they're built for the people, meaning they fight to get you the best possible results if you become their client. I mean, just recently, they won $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, and in Philly, $26 million, 40 times the initial offer. And the best part? You pay absolutely nothing unless you win. That's right, no upfront fees, no hidden costs, nothing. And starting your claim? It's really easy. You can click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. You can submit everything in minutes, right on your phone. So if you've been seriously injured, your case could be worth millions. So don't wait, because your life could change in just a few clicks. You can start your claim today with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/ASC or scan the QR code now. Manning, he's at the peak of his career. And the Colts? Yeah, they're one of the best teams in football.
28! Harris right, Wayne to the left. Double tight end, Clark to the left side. The give us to a die. Starts right, cuts back, left, touchdown! Joseph's second rushing touchdown of the year. Colts.
That's what football is all about. Coming into a tough place to play and finding a way to win.
They cap off the season with a Super Bowl victory, cementing Manning's status as an all-time great.
Every fan is on its feet here at Miami Dolphin Stadium in Miami, Florida. Super Bowl 41 about to commence.
They're all here to see the Colts of Indianapolis win Super Bowl 41.
But what most people don't realize is that this is also the year that this happened.
Loses the ball. And there you see Peyton Manning shaken up, losing his helmet.
Facing the Redskins, Manning takes a crazy folding that leaves him with discomfort in his neck and shoulder, ultimately resulting in a herniated disc. But like the warrior he is, plays through it. No one outside the Colts' inner circle truly even knows anything is wrong. But over the next few years, the pain lingers. He undergoes small procedures but never misses a game. In fact, he plays at such an elite level that no one even suspects that anything serious is brewing.
A treat to watch Peyton Manning know exactly where the pressure's coming and find that vacant area. He's got style, doesn't he?
They even make it back to the Super Bowl in 2009. They lost, but I mean, they were there.
Picked off. Look out. Gets past Manning, and it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Then comes 2010. The discomfort intensifies. The nerve damage in his neck worsens, affecting his throwing arm. But still, he fights through it. leading the Colts to another playoff appearance.
Manning on first down. Fakes to Dominic Rhodes. Sets up. He's going to air one out down the middle, and he's caught. Pierre Garçon, 10, 5, touchdown. Pierre Garçon, a 57-yard pass from Peyton Manning.
But by the time the 2011 offseason rolls around, the reality is unavoidable. His neck, it was failing him. So he undergoes multiple surgeries, each one riskier than the last.
6 News is digging deeper into Manning's neck surgery and what his recovery will look like.
I guess the big question for a lot of Colts fans and football fans far and wide, how serious an injury is it?
Now, Manning's third surgery different than the others. Today, he went in for an anterior cervical discectomy infusion.
Surgery after surgery has failed, so Manning recently flew to Europe for stem cell therapy that's not approved in the U.S.
There is a certain type that is approved. This is the type that is used largely in Europe, China, and all over the world, just to take that extra step to try to get back and heal that neck.
Manning has had 4 medical procedures in just 19 months, rendering his neck almost bionic.
I mean, it had gotten so bad that at a point, Peyton was quoted saying that he could barely even throw a dart, let alone a football, accurately. Even his brother Eli was under the impression Peyton's career was over. So when the season began, for the first time in his career, Peyton Manning isn't on the field. And the Colts, yeah, they collapsed without him. Which brings us back to here.
And there is a suck for luck campaign that appears to be going on there, talking about Andrew Luck, the Stanford quarterback.
I think that he fits better in Indianapolis, especially since the organization is transitioning away from Peyton Manning.
The Colts found themselves at a crossroads. Stick with their uncertain franchise legend or embrace the future. So, on March 2012, the Colts, they make the call.
Today, a farewell that once would have been unthinkable. Quarterback Peyton Manning, one of the greatest players in NFL history, was cut by the Colts because of concern about his health.
I sure have loved playing football for the Indianapolis Colts. For 14 wonderful years, the only professional football I've known has been Colts football. I haven't thought yet about where I'll play, but I have thought a lot about where I've been. And as I go with just a few words left to say. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I truly have enjoyed being your quarterback. Thank you.
And just like that, an era ends. It's emotional, it's surreal. And for the first time in over a decade, Peyton Manning, the Peyton Manning, is a free agent. A quarterback without a team.
There are 2 things in my life I thought I would never, ever see. Number 1, the Indianapolis Colts cutting Peyton Manning. And number 2, subsequent to that cut, that Peyton would be favoring the Denver Broncos? Are you kidding me, Doug? The Denver Broncos?
Now, the real question is, who is going to take the risk on a 36-year-old quarterback coming off multiple neck surgeries? A guy who, let's be honest, might never play at a high level ever again.
I don't see the upside. First of all, let me break out the one stat. No quarterback in the history of the NFL has ever won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. So I'm taking that off the table. That the chances of him winning another Super Bowl, I'm putting that to the side.
Doesn't mean
that it's not
can't happen.
Okay, but I'm just saying, but it hasn't happened, okay?
I think Peyton will love hearing.
All right, I'll put that to the side, okay?
Well, enter the Denver Broncos. Their front office, led by Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway, sees an opportunity. They bring Manning in, take a chance, and sign him to a massive $96 million contract.
Peyton Manning has asked his agent, Tom Condon, to begin negotiations with the Denver Broncos. Wow. So after his due diligence, Peyton Manning has decided that it is Denver.
I'll introduce the next quarterback of the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning.
Thoughts? It is a huge mistake on the part of Peyton Manning. He chose the worst situation to win now.
It's a bold, high-stakes move. But the Broncos were a solid team, fresh off that chaotic but fun Tim Tebow experiment. But they needed what they felt was a true leader at quarterback. At the time, it seemed the Broncos were taking a gamble. But that gamble, it paid off big time.
Peyton has another touchdown pass. This one to Decker.
Manning doesn't just play well in Denver. He dominates. His first season back, he threw for nearly 4,700 yards and 37 touchdowns. leading the Broncos to a 13-3 record. But see, that's just the warm-up. Then comes 2013.
Peyton Manning to Andre Caldwell from 28 yards out.
Our quarterback tied the NFL single-game record with 7 touchdowns. Let's do it again now.
Decker is in the end zone, and Denver's got a touchdown. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, for the first time in his career, will face the Indianapolis Colts.
But so far, do you see any weaknesses in the Broncos?
You know what? I don't see any weaknesses.
And Manning guns it, and it is touchdown.
The natural leader, for one. You know, he definitely demands perfection from his teammates.
Sanders make the catch, and Denver at last has found the end zone.
Peyton Manning with a 7.57-second 40 goes untouched. That is one for the ages.
If he was a horse, they would have shot him.
Peyton Manning goes absolutely crazy. He throws for 5,477 yards and 55 touchdowns, breaking both NFL records. Denver's offense became a juggernaut, the most prolific we've ever seen. Manning wins his 5th MVP, and the Broncos go 13-3 again, and they steamroll their way all the way to the Super Bowl.
I just don't think Seattle can score with Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning will audible. They'll run the football. That'll be a big part of their offense here tonight.
Now, if we're being honest, this storybook season doesn't have a fairy tale ending. The Broncos get absolutely crushed in Super Bowl 48 by the Seahawks and their legendary Legion of Boom defense. It's ugly, but despite that historically bad performance, the message was still clear. Peyton Manning, he was back, and Denver was a force to be reckoned with. Fast forward to 2015, and it's a different story. Manning is no longer the gunslinger carrying the team. He's older, battling injuries, and his arm strength isn't what it used to be. But Denver's defense? Oh, that's legit. Led by Von Miller, it carried the Broncos all the way to Super Bowl 50. And fortunately for Peyton, he doesn't have to be the hero this time. He just has to be smart. And that's exactly what he does. The Broncos shut down the Panthers, and Peyton Manning gets to ride off in the sunset with his 2nd Super Bowl ring. It's poetic, it's perfect, and it's the end of an era.
Should it be over? Should he retire?
I, for one, Molly, I don't want to see this fairy tale end. I don't think it should, Stephen A. Smith, unless Peyton Manning really, really wants it to end now.
When someone thoroughly exhausts an experience, they can't help but revere it. I revere football. I love the game. So you don't have to wonder if I'll miss it. Absolutely, absolutely, I will.
All right, now let's go back to the Colts. Andrew Luck, as expected, is incredible right out the gate. He takes the Colts to the playoffs 3 straight years, even leading them to an AFC Championship game in 2014. The future looked bright, but here's where it started to unravel. The Colts, they failed to build a solid offensive line around Luck, and he was taking a beating after beating, year after year. He's hit, injured, and by injured, I mean a partially abdominal tear and a lacerated kidney injury. And with that, was forced to carry the team with little help. By 2019, the wear and tear proved to be too much. And in a shocking decision, Andrew Luck retired at just 29 years old.
Hello. This certainly isn't how I envisioned this or planned this. But I am going to retire. This is not an easy decision. Honestly, it's the hardest decision of my life. But it is the right decision for me.
How surprised were you by Andrew Luck's sudden retirement?
Like everyone, Skip, I was very surprised. We kept hearing about he had a calf injury in April, and here we are August, and he was still unable to practice. Never, I don't think anyone thought it would get to this point. But watching him in the press conference, Skip, he looked like a broken man.
The Colts, who had once let go of a Hall of Fame quarterback for the next big thing, suddenly found themselves with nothing. Manning was retired. So was Luck, and the franchise would be forced to go back to square one. Football is a game of moments, decisions, and ripple effects. And in 2012, one decision to release an all-time great changed the NFL forever.